little bit out of sync with the artistic swimming program, because we should have been in Japan really, in Fukuoka. That couldn't happen, so it was switched at last minute notice almost here to Budapest. And of course we've got Japan to come next year, then Doha, Paris of course for the Olympic Games. So it's all a little bit strange for everybody.
Yeah, it is, and we were disappointed earlier this year when we thought that perhaps the World Championships wouldn't go ahead, but all credit to Budapest and the organisers who've turned it around in 4 months. They're well experienced because they hosted the World Championships back in 2017. So it's a bit of a repeat performance, different pool for the artistic swimming, but they've done a fabulous job pulling it together in time.
Yes, at the risk of sounding like a commercial, I mean, we have to say we're having a smashing time here. It really is a super city.
It is.
A super setting as well, and the crowds are gradually coming into, of course, Sunday here in the capital of Hungary, and it's nice to see spectators cheering the swimmers on. I wanted to ask you as well, how big a factor is the heat? But it is a hot one today.
For the swimmers, it doesn't matter so much because they're in the pool. They obviously have to be very careful with the sun. But for the coaches, I see quite a few of them looking rather warm.
Our first look at the competitors today. There will be 12 teams competing in this duet technical. Obviously 12 different countries. And we have duets today as opposed to solo yesterday. Now, another question I want to ask you is about new combinations, because the likes of Japan and the Netherlands are very much new.
Well, after the Olympic Games, there's always countries that their swimmers retire and the new people come in and start competing for the next cycle. Because Paris is only another 2 years away, quite a few have stayed. Unfortunately, the Netherlands duet that you mentioned, the twins should have been swimming together, but one of them has had an operation, so that's why that duet has had to change. But it's great to see some of the new duets getting international experience for the very first time as well. And the standard is just incredible from some of the youngsters.
What's very noticeable to me, even over the course of 4 years since we were working together in Glasgow, is that at that time there weren't many men participants in the sport. It seems to me that that is growing, that is changing.
Yeah, it's really growing. So we have a mixed duet here at this World Championships, but in the World Series they can take part in the team events as well.
The judges are just getting their mention.
So the all-important officials, so you'll have the referee and the technical officials led by Lisa Schott, who walked out first, and then we'll announce all of the judges.
And the little ones here, they'll never forget this. We all have memories better from years ago than we do of more recent times, and these youngsters will never forget today.
They won't, and hopefully it will inspire them to take up this wonderful sport. There's so much camaraderie in the sport, lots and lots of hard work, but these are incredibly fit athletes, and it's like one big family really, the artistic swimming world.
Just explain to me how the draw works, because the first competitors we'll see today are the United States of America duo, and they finished in 8th place in the preliminaries.
Yes, so the way it works, only the top 12 go through to the finals that we have today. Depending on where they finished in the preliminary rounds, if they finished in positions 1 to 6, they will be drawn in the latter half of the competition. As we look at the start list here, so these ones will be drawn in the latter half of the competition, and the ones that we will see shortly will be swimming in the first half of the competition.
And I think it would be fair to say that every one of them would hope to improve on their preliminary showing in terms of points and in terms of position.
Yes, yeah. So the ones that stand the biggest chance of the podium places will be swimming last. I think it was a bit complicated, wasn't it? And it's a bit confusing to explain. But yeah, the ones that stand the chance of the medals will swim towards the end, but there's really big competition between the ones that swim first as well.
I think it's fair enough for me to say that you've been involved in this sport for a few years. How has the coverage, how has the camera work changed over the years since you first competed?
Oh, the technology is amazing. It used to be really unusual for us to actually even have television coverage, and everything's online now as well these days. But the technical equipment for the underwater shots is really impressive. as we look at the judges. And there's 3 panels of judges altogether, and I'll talk a bit about this as we go through it. But they're judging on execution, impression, and the elements, because it is the technical program. There are certain required elements that all of the duets need to do.
Well, there we see the American couple, Anita Alvarez and Megumi Field. And Anita in particular is interesting. She's just getting over some surgery on her foot.
That's right. She's been out of the pool for a bit, so the reserve had to come into it as we look at just pictures of them training earlier today. So Daniela Ramirez, she came in and swam with Megumi Field, and it's good to see Anita back competing fully again.
They finished 8th in the preliminary round with a score of 85.5281. That was over 7 points behind the overall leaders, China. And looking at Anita Alvarez again, she started at the age of just 5, which is great. I mean, the earlier you start, the better, I'm sure.
Yes, yeah, and as I mentioned in the commentary yesterday, her mum used to do artistic swimming, or synchronized swimming as it was, and tried to compete at the Olympic Games in 1984. She went to the trials, didn't actually qualify for the Olympics, but nevertheless a really high standard, and still runs the club as well.
The family moved from Delaware to California, no doubt helping the progression. She is half Japanese.
Yes, Megumi Field is, as you say, half Japanese, and getting lots of experience. You know, she's a lot younger. She's only 16 years of age compared to Anita, who's 25. So she will be learning a lot from the experience of Anita.
The crowd is getting in the mood, and we're just seconds away now from the first of the duet technical performances. And we always say how important the music is as well. A lot of thought goes into that.
It does, and particularly so with the first one that we're going to see for the USA, and I'll explain why just as they start their performance.
As you can hear, the crowd are being asked to support the athletes. They do that naturally. There are many relatives who are having made the journey here to Hungary.
And also fantastic that all of the teams support each other as well. So a lot of the competitors are watching and supporting their teammates and anyone else that has qualified for this final.
We're all set to go on a memorable Sunday afternoon in Budapest. Great build-up now, the time to perform for Anita Alvarez and Megumi Field from the United States of America.
First required element safely out the way. The coach is from Ukraine, Anna Voloshyna. And the theme of this routine is Stand with Ukraine, using typical music, mainly 1944 by Jamala. So the second of the required elements has just passed, and what they have to do is the required elements must be parallel to the judges. Each required element has got an assigned degree difficulty to it. The rest of the routine hasn't. Here the spacing has to be absolutely perfect. during the performance, there needs to be one lift, jump or throw as they move into the cyclone very rapidly up to the vertical. They need to hold the legs a bit steadier. You shouldn't see any movement at all on those verticals other than the actual rotation. Lovely control there. Well, they certainly crammed as much as they possibly could into that 2.5 minutes. The coaches there, Andrea Fuentes and Volosina, who I was talking about before. Very, very emotional time for her, and it makes the coach cry when she sees the performance. But Megumi Field, the 16-year-old, really stepped up to the plate, didn't she? Swimming with more experience than Nita Alvarez.
You used the phrase there about the awareness of the position, got to be opposite the judges. That makes this as much mental as physical?
Yes, yeah, it does, and the positioning is all very, very important. And as I say, the required elements have to be parallel to the judges, and if they're not parallel, there are deductions to be made.
I was just thinking there's much to think about as you enter the water. There's much to think about while you're in the water.
There's so much to think about, but you would train and train and train until it's completely in your muscle memory, so you don't have to think about what comes next. It's automatic. Such emotional scenes here.
That was a lovely shot, and the judges in particular were clearly highly delighted by the outcome. And then the coaches were highly delighted by the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. 86.42, that's 0.9 more than they got in the qualifiers, so a great start from the United States of America. Always difficult going first, but they've really set the level high.
That's a lovely start to the afternoon's entertainment here in Budapest as well. The city that not many people know, there is Buda and there is Pest, and we're sort of split somewhere between the two on the banks of the River Danube, on the island, in fact, Margaret Island. Used to be known as the Island of Rabbits. We could not be in a more heavenly place as we await the arrival of Marlene Boyer and Michel Zimmer, representing Germany.
Number 2 comes from Germany, Marlene Boyer and Michel Zimmer.
Marlene finished 12th in the solo technical final yesterday. The partner was just 25 years of age. Marlene Boyer and Michel Zimmer of Germany.
And straight into the backflip. One of the required elements. But you can do variations of a theme on that one. This is their interpretation of Woodfall Temple Amazons. First required element, really important on these spins downs to have the level exactly right. Synchronization, obviously, very, very important. Double belly leg, then full rotation into the flamingo. Really good explosive height. Have to be close here, but not so close that they touch. Shoulders nice and high, that's good. Very slight difference on the synchronization there. Surface arch, bent knees, straight up into that vertical, trying to keep as much height as possible. Thrust, flamingo, good timing. Really good performance there from the German pair. They were very, very disappointed. They missed out on qualifying for the Olympic Games last year by 0.186. It was so, so close. And they had a break. They weren't sure if they were going to carry on competing, but they've made the decision, yes, they want to come back. They want to train for Paris next time. Hopefully that they will qualify, but to see them in the finals here, all credit to them for that motivation after such a disappointing year last year.
They chose rousing music, and that means that dictates the performance as well, which has to be equally rousing.
Yes, yeah, the duet is as it was last year, but they have made a lot of changes as well. Yumiko Tomomatsu has been working with them recently just to make small tweaks to keep it alive, to keep these swimmers alert as well. It's good to make changes, but often the coaches can make changes right till the day before. Then it gets a bit frustrating.
You mentioned height in execution. Is it, how vital is it to be tall in build?
If you're tall in build, it can look super impressive, but you do need to be able to control that extra length of leg, and sometimes that can make it even more difficult.
Well, we await the marks, which will appear in on your screen any moment now. Here we have it, right on cue, 82.7570.
4.70, impression score 25.10, element score 32.95, with an overall...
It follows the trend of yesterday, similar. They were 82.7121 yesterday.
Hugs from Mum, Karen Thorpe, Izzy Thorpe's mum, who used to compete. I used to be her coach actually many years ago, and she used to do a duet with the mum of Kate Shortman as well.
Now here we don't have to worry too much about pronunciation. You probably guess why. This is Great Britain in the shape of Kate Shortman and Isabel Thorpe. Marks, get set, go for Great Britain and Kate Shortman and Isabel Thorpe.
This is their vampire-themed duet. Music composed specially for them for the Olympics last year. They've been working very hard on improving difficulty and getting speed of movement into it, and it really shows. Great interpretation. Nice height, well above the knees, and good body line that you can see on those underwater cameras. Synchronization of the angles. Good height on the belly legs. Those rotations have to be rapid. Excellent. Wow. Well, this is their first World Championship final. They qualified in 9th place. They've improved such a lot. Every time I see them, I really feel that they've stepped it up another level. They've actually only ever swam duet together since a very young age, and they really complement each other. They're very different in their personalities. Izzy is probably, or Isabella, is probably the more focused, but Kate is really focused as well when it comes to competing. They go so well together, they really complement each other.
Well, they've been lifelong friends. It must be nice that when you have a camaraderie off or out of the pool as well as in the water.
They get on so well, and it's just a lovely story that their mums used to compete together as the duet as well. It's so special. They're very lucky that they are training with the team in Bristol at the Hengrove pool, so it's almost like they've got a high-performance training academy, which is quite unusual in Great Britain, and we're really appreciative of the pool time that Hengrove pool give to them. But I could see the difficulties improved, the travel and speed has improved, and we're 14th last time. Great to be in a final this time round.
High fives, and nice for them to have fans here watching, unlike the Olympics, of course, were so restricted.
A great result yesterday, of course, with Kate finishing 7th in the solo. 84.9751. Very well, 0.1 more than they got in qualification. Fabulous swim from the British pair.
Well done to them. They move into second spot behind the United States of America in these very early stages of the duet technical here in Hungary. And we're moving along quite smartly. Now the Netherlands finished in 7th position in qualifying in the preliminaries with Regia de Breuer and Malois Steenbeck. Here they are, and well, good luck to the Netherlands. They've always had a tradition in this sport.
Wow, what a fabulous starting position.
Popular already, 4th into the pool, the Netherlands.
Reggie normally swims with her twin sister. Alois has had to really step up this year, and she certainly has done that. They look really good together. When the knee is bent, the hip should be right up at the surface. That was good. And with 2 legs out, you'd like it to be mid-calf. the interpretation. Although it's a technical program with required elements, you still want to pack the content in addition to the moves that you have to do, and that was one of them. Really moving well around the pool. That splits, nice walkout. Fantastic. I mean, considering that Becky normally swims with her sister, her twin, I can't believe how well it goes with Marloes as well. It's really inspiring the way that she has stepped up. And yeah, I mean, as a sport in the Netherlands, they did so well in the Olympics last year, the twins, because they finished 9th. And that's the first time for the Netherlands to be so high up in the Olympic rankings since 2008. So to qualify here in 7th place at these World Championships was a truly tremendous result for them. 85.85 was their score in qualification.
Yes, their first time together in a major event. How long does it take to build a chemistry?
They will have worked together in teams and things like that, so they will have known each other quite a long time. I guess if it's your twin sister, the chemistry is always there, isn't it? So yeah, there has been a certain amount of adaptation this year, but it really didn't show. And Norjay has been so supportive of them and probably very frustrated that she's not here swimming.
So let's await the mark. Which doesn't take long, does it? 86.1420.
That puts them in 2nd place at the moment, and that's really increased their score from the qualification.
Well, they'll be delighted with that.
Yeah.
Nice smiles of thank you. The fans, by the way, are waving their fans as well. It's such a warm day here in Budapest. And as they depart the stage, we await the arrival of the Korea Republic, who qualified in the final position, in 12th position, with a score of 80.6840. So we are now looking at He Yun-seo and Lee Ri-young.
Yes, they would have been absolutely delighted to have qualified for this final. Just 0.7 ahead of Switzerland, who unfortunately missed out.
Nice shots there for the fans to enjoy on the big screens here. It's very well presented, this championship. For Korea Republic, He Yun-seo and Lee Ri-young.
Such a special moment for them, swimming in a finals. Lee Ri-young, 21 years of age. He Yun-seo is only 17. Nice control. I felt on the first length that they were swimming a little bit too far apart from each other. Just need to be a little bit careful on that synchronization as well. love the rapid turns there. Slightly different emphasis on the beginning of the spin. But gosh, really traveling well around this pool. Again, I'd like to see them a little bit closer together. Well, it's their first time swimming together at an international competition, and I felt that they really went out there and made the most of it. It wasn't absolutely perfect. There were tiny little things, but they've gone for a different style than they would normally go for. So their goal is the Asian Games, a medal there. Unfortunately, that's not happening this year, but in the future, continental championships are always really important to all of these athletes.
You made one comment there that fascinated me, which was about the way they were getting quickly around the pool. And if you read her biography, she's said to be a very quiet speaker, a very slow speaker, but the fastest swimmer in the entire of Korea, in the whole of Korean Republic.
Well, I didn't know that, and that really showed in the performance. They absolutely bombed it around the pool. It was brilliant, so fast.
The interview may take a little bit longer. She started ballet lessons at the age of 2 and then trained in the United States of America, so she's worldly wise.
Yes. Interpretation, the program is all about the rain is falling. So all of these have such fabulous costumes, don't they, that depict the theme of the routine, if it can. 80.3069, put him in 5th place at the moment.
I think this is the time where we say about a learning curve. You know, when their score they're probably happy with it, as you say, they're trailing behind the rest at the moment, but their first time.
They made it into a finals. That's a massive story for them on its own, especially, you know, for the 17-year-old. You know, she's a junior, really. This is a senior World Championships.
Everybody has to begin somewhere. I've yet to start, but I'm sure I will do one day. Right, we're moving along towards Israel now, in the shape of Eden Blecher and Shelley Bobritsky.
I love the breathing exercises she was doing there. Big yawns before she swims to fill those lungs.
Well, Eden has been competing internationally since 2014, the World Juniors at that stage. Nicely underway, Israel, Eden Blecher and Shelley Bobritsky.
I was talking to Eden's mum earlier, and who's actually a coach as well, and she was telling me this Indian theme after the Olympics went viral in India, millions of views. So when we see India competing in the artistic swimming, I think we can thank Israel for encouraging and motivating them. Really good speed of movement. That explosive height, using the legs with the egg beater kick to get the hips out when they're coming up head first. As we move into another required element, remember that has to be parallel to the judges. Important that the horizontal leg isn't too high out of the water. They hold that vertical line. Fabulous. Very quickly into it, which adds a surprise element into the program. A little bit wobbly on the rotation on the twist. Well, I feel exhausted after watching that. Super, super impressed. The improvement, Anna Taris, lots of thumbs up, and there's Svetlana Lacher on the left-hand side there. So this pairing in 2019 were 19th at the World Championships. They then finished 15th at the Olympic Games, and now they're here in a final. They are improving so rapidly, but I know how much hard work they put into the performances, and it really shows.
I think they had a very good recent performance in Greece as well, so they're continuing to build, continuing to get better. You used a word there about surprise element. Is that to impress the judges? Is that because that's what they enjoy doing?
Yeah,
Off the cuff.
When I say surprise element, I mean that they don't spend too long setting up. So when you watch novices in age groups, it's fairly obvious what's coming next because the setup and everything you sort of know. But if they very, very quickly go into the lift, that's more risk and it's more impressive. Big hugs all around. Anna Taris choreographed the routine for them, and it's been a very big support. That's nice, coaches standing with them. 84.299, fourth place at the moment, one place behind Great Britain and ahead of Germany.
Yeah, well done to Eden Blecher and Shelley Bobritsky. We're moving toward the top half of the draw now. We've seen the first 6 performances. We've got another 6 to go, so plenty of entertainment for you.
Plenty of entertainment, 2 sets of twins and triplets, of which 2 of them will be swimming today. Incredible.
It's what's called a family affair. We're moving into the People's Republic of China next to meet Wang Liuyi and Wang Chanyi. Dancing for joy. Dazzling outfits of Wang and Wang. Start of the performance of the People's Republic of China.
Wow, what a start. Incredible height and balance, and very quickly into it. Remember, they're going to be judged on execution, impression, and then the required elements, which counts for 40% of the overall score. Very straight lines. They've been working towards a new style of choreography, very sharp here. Beautiful extension of those feet, Really close together, but absolutely perfect. Spatial awareness, absolutely spot on. Qualified in first place. And swimming superbly in the final. Wow, 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 wow. Superb performance there. It's the first time that they've actually swimming duet together at a World Championships. They've been in the team for years, but how thrilling for them to actually be out here. Twin sisters, 25 years of age, in a World Championships, qualified first.
I was in Indonesia a few years ago when China won gold in this event, and I'm wondering if it's going to be gold again today for China.
I think it could well be gold. Look at that flexibility there and the height as well. Fantastic seeing it in slow motion. And remember, they're not allowed to touch the bottom of the pool at all. And if they use the bottom of the pool to assist another swimmer, it's a 2-point penalty. There will be video cameras underneath. Music actually very loud at the surface. Fairly quiet underneath, I've been told, so they will have to really concentrate and count every single beat of the music to get the synchronization that we're seeing here today. Wang Liu, it was a disappointment for her because she was injured and wasn't in the Olympic Games last year, but her sister managed to get a silver in the team event.
Well, you said wow, wow, wow. It's 93.7536.
And that's more than 1 point ahead of what they got in qualification. Incredible scoring there.
In other words, the judges liked it, we liked it, the fans liked it, and what a delight it is to be here in Budapest. So anything can happen in Jakarta, anything can happen in Budapest as well. Lovely sport, and the camaraderie is something that impresses me as well.
Yeah, a very friendly rivalry. Keeping those muscles warm, those all-important muscles, they don't want to get cramp.
Yes, we're looking at the Alexandri sisters representing Austria, Anna Maria and Irini.
Number 8 from Austria, Anna Maria Alexandri and Irini Alexandri.
And the announcer's voice confirms that. Anna Maria Alexandri and Irini Alexandri. We wish them well for Austria.
Yes, 2 of the triplets, sister Vasiliki, she swam in the solo yesterday, finishing 5th. This is their interpretation of warriors. 3rd in technical, they absolutely cannot afford to make a mistake. The preliminary score doesn't carry through, and they were only 0.26 ahead of Japan in 4th. I love the speed of movement there, and then suddenly a hold. Showed real control. Perfect synchronization. Slightly different levels on the spin. Hardly any difference at all. So close together, but not touching. Well, they're going to have to wait and see. Japan are swimming directly after them, so it's going to be very good to be able to get a direct comparison. Their scores moved into the 90-point-something last year at the European Championships when they won 2 bronze medals, which was the first time for Austria since 1985. They've competed in the World Series that you mentioned before, John, quite a bit this year, so they've had plenty of experience, and that really shows in their performance. Very strong.
It was a dramatic start and a dramatic finale. It's a bit like after dinner speaking. Hit them hard to start with and hit them hard at the end. Yeah,
super important to be very impressive as soon as you start, or really as soon as you walk out onto the pool side. But I was reading the other day that they love to sing songs when they're swimming underneath the water. So not only are they super talented technically, but they can sing songs at the same time.
That's one thing I forgot to ask you. I was going to ask you if you ever got cramp. I got cramp just watching it with the legs coming out there straightened in the water.
I do master sport. We often get cramp. And yes, it's stretching is so important in this sport.
My nightmare. Here we go.
So they'll want to see a second place there, 91.26. They've increased their score by 1 whole point over qualification. So they're improving all of the time. And now we'll have to wait and see how they compare with Japan. Remember, Japan 0.26 behind after qualification, but those scores, none of the scores carry on through. And actually, Japan were 3rd if you look at just the required element score, but only 0.1 difference. So incredibly close. I am super excited to see how this goes.
Well, you're not going to have to wait long, because here they are, the Japanese pairing of Moehiga and Magumu Yoshida.
The 14-year-old, nearly 15, swimming with a 26-year-old.
The crowd has been waiting with bated breath for this performance from Japan.
They would have been disappointed with 4th in qualifying, but they will have watched the video back. They will have worked on lots of bits. Let's see how it goes today, whether they can get on that podium. Very slight differences on the levels on the spin. Plenty of choreography of the feet as well. All adds to the impression of the routine. I would say the swimmer on the left had her horizontal leg a little bit too high out of the water. Very slight differences on the descent there. But nice and steady on the twist. As always, beautiful on the walkover. Lovely height. Real speed of movement in these hybrids. Good difficulty. Synchronization, just a few little bits and pieces. That was their interpretation of female sword fighters. They've only been together, believe it or not, since January this year. So they've got 12-year age difference, but that's an incredible performance when you think that they've been together for such a short space of time. And for Mohiga, that's her first international competition as well.
Yes, Magumbo actually competed along with Yukiko Inui, who we saw win gold here yesterday. So it's a very new combination, this one.
It is. And of course, they were fourth in the Olympic Games with Yukiko Inui. So it's really nice to see this new duet. But it's going to be really close. I felt that Austria had it on the overall synchronization. I'm not a judge. They're looking at it probably slightly differently than me, but so we'll have to wait and see. But this is going to be very tense moments for them. And of course, we still have 3 more duets to swim.
How many hours training will they have been able to put in a week?
Normally 6 or 7 hours a day. And to get a duet that good in such a short space of time is amazing. I think Austria, 89.944. That puts them in 3rd place at the moment. Behind Austria, behind the People's Republic of China. Very, very close. But actually, Austria have extended the gap a lot more than they did in qualification.
The very colourful pairing from Mexico are next. Nuria Diosdado Garcia and Joanna Jimenez Garcia.
Lovely bright costumes, aren't they? This is fun, this routine.
Wishing each other good fortune. I thought the last pairing were almost applauding themselves with their feet in the water.
Yeah.
Mexico, as they are known, are always popular wherever they go around the world, in whatever sport. But this is very much artistic swimming. Duet technical. Mexico represented by Nuria Diosdado Garcia and Joanna Jimenez Garcia.
Always so much personality and energy. Hold it steady. Double belly leg, 360 rotation, flamingo, belly leg. Down quickly. Going for originality on the lift. Felt it could have been a little bit higher. But I'm sure you don't need me to tell you the music is maniac. for sheer entertainment value, I love that. I really did. And I think you did as well, John. We were both sitting here just smiling as we watched them. It was so exuberant, wasn't it? It was so special. And was it perfect from synchronization? There were a few tiny little bits, but they love swimming it. We love watching it.
It also got the crowd going.
It did, and that made the difference of 0.1 in the qualifying to actually get them into the top 6 to be in this final draw in the second half, which actually as an athlete in artistic swimming is where you want to be. So the personality shone through, didn't it?
There's a statistic and a request here. They have won between them 15 medals in the Caribbean and Central American Games. I've never had an invitation to that, have you?
No, I haven't either. We'll have to, hopefully they'll want us next time, John. But actually, dear Stada thought after Tokyo that she would retire. But like a lot of these athletes, she retired, misses it, realises, no, not ready to retire, let's work for Paris.
Lovely smiles, quite right too as well. We used the word exuberant there, and that's exactly what it was. The crowd loved every second of that. They were involved, and they hand in hand await their result, which is
87.1936. 4th place. They are absolutely delighted with that. That's about 1.5 points more than they got in qualification. And judging from the reaction, I think that will be their top score, their best score ever.
They'll be dancing in the streets of Guadalajara tonight.
She'll be very glad she didn't retire now, won't she?
Absolutely. That was glorious. That was really good. Thoroughly enjoyable. Kisses to everybody. Oh, they did enjoy it. And from the coach. Right, we'll calm down again a little bit now because we are about to see Italy with Linda Cerruti and Costanza Ferro.
They qualified in 5th place, but they also were only 0.6 off a possible podium place. Anything can happen. They have 30 seconds where they can set up, then the whistle will go.
Italian entertainment in the hands of Linda Cerruti and Costanza Ferro.
Very solid and lovely timing on the spin. I like the interpretation to the music. Really getting the crowd behind them. Important to keep the back leg on the surface of the water. Keep moving in the torpedo scull. Well, Linda Chariti, she finished 4th in the solo yesterday, so just outside of the medals. They went out there and swam their hearts out in the hope of getting on the podium in the duet technical.
Yes, they were 5th in the preliminaries. The big question is, can they move up to a podium position?
Well, it's 0.6, but of course Austria really increased their score from qualification into the final. This is their debut of this choreography. It's new this year for the 28-year-olds. They scored 89.411 in qualification. They will be very much hoping that that score at least starts with a 9 in the finals. Just a few tiny, tiny little things I felt on the synchronization.
Well, they have much in common. They share the same age. They're 28, and they'll share the ambition of seeing this scoreboard reflecting their performance and improving their position. All will be told in just a few seconds' time. Those were the Italians, Linda Cerruti and Costanza Ferro. The rest of the swimmers from the team are coming here to encourage them and applaud them and hope. 89.8733.
Gosh, that's only less than 0.1 behind Japan. So close.
But yet so far.
Yeah. Yep.
One to go, and the one to go is Ukraine. And I think it's fair to say everybody at the moment has a soft spot for Ukraine in sporting terms, and we'll certainly be looking forward to the performance to come from Marina Alexieva and Vladislava Alexieva, another family trait, common bond.
Yeah, the 21-year-old twins. They've done a duet together since they were juniors, but they only became the #1 duet for Ukraine after the Olympic Games.
A warm welcome, as you would expect. The Ukrainian flag is flying, the blue and the yellow, immediately opposite here in our commentary position in Budapest. Imagine 21-year-old twins competing in a World Championships. Final act in the competition in Ukraine, Marina and Vladislava Alexieva.
There's 7 different pieces of music, all taken from Royal Blood. It's the title of the overall music, but there's always lots of variety in Ukrainian performances. Qualified second behind China. They're out here swimming to try to get that gold. Loving the contrast that they're showing here. Beautiful. Just slightly off alignment on the vertical spin. And a big, big mistake at the end there. It wasn't on a required element, but that is going to affect the scores. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. Up until that point, it was a really strong performance, but right at the very end, it was really difficult to actually see. It wasn't clean at the end. The timing, one of the swimmers was slightly out. I don't know the routine well enough, obviously, to know who was behind and who was in front of the music, but it didn't look right at all. And, well, they scored 91.856 in qualification. It's their first year as the #1 duet. Marta Fedina swam at the Olympic Games, the soloist, silver medalist from yesterday. She swam with Anastasia Savchuk, but Anastasia Savchuk taking a break after the Olympics, which gives the opportunity for these 21-year-old twins to step up. Let's see how much difference it's going to make.
The target they have to overcome is 93.7536, which was posted by the People's Republic of China. China, of course, were second in Guangzhou. Ukraine were third in Guangzhou behind Russia. So at least one of them may be stepping up for gold today. China in pole position at the moment.
Performs an incorrect action in an element. The judges on the element panel shall award a 0 score for that particular element.
This is crucial.
So, yeah. It wasn't on the required element, I don't think. So, from that point of view, I don't think it will affect it, but let's wait and see. But they will know that the timing was slightly off at the end, but the rest of the performance was absolutely superb. Hopefully they've done enough, but you can see
there's a hint of anxiety on the face.
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
and I'm not surprised with everything else going on in their lives as well. And it's taken quite a long time for the scores to come through. So obviously it's being
well, that heightens
reviewed.
the drama, doesn't it? It heightens the expectation and the worry.
Svetlana stood over there looking rather concerned.
Well, it's just wonderful that they are here competing in Budapest.
Yes, they've been, they didn't stay in Ukraine. They were offered the opportunity with the whole team to go to Italy, and that's where they've been living and training. But obviously all their families are in Ukraine, and the pressure that they're under at the moment is, well, it's just immense.
Yes, we can only imagine.
So they are going to be reviewing the video. This is really, this isn't what any of us want. The final duet, Ukraine, 98% of it was fantastic, just right at the very, very end. So hopefully the required element, part of it was good enough.
Please stick around because awards will happen momentarily after this.
It must seem like an eternity for the girls.
Oh, just awful, just awful.
21-year-old twins.
First time doing a duet together. But, well, hopefully the scores will be up soon, and I really hope that they have done enough to retain at least that second place that they got in the qualification. And they have 91.8617. That's the silver medal for Ukraine. Massive relief for them. Very, very close, only 0.6 ahead of Austria, who take the bronze. People's Republic of China, the gold.
Yes, we'll confirm those standings for you in just a moment. That was awful for them, such a long, protracted wait, but at least at the end of it, they got the result they wanted, which was nice to see for Ukraine, who do indeed take that second spot with that 91.8617 score. Third there for Austria.
I certainly felt that the required element part of it was fine. But there was obviously confusion after that.
So here is the final result, and it is China's gold medal. It is Ukraine in silver, and it is Austria to take the bronze. Greece's loss is Austria's gain. And we continue down. We see USA in 7th, the Netherlands 8th, Great Britain 9th, Israel in 10th, Germany in 11th, and Korea Republic completing that scoreboard. Another thoroughly enjoyable afternoon of competition here in Budapest.
And incredibly close between silver and bronze. Very, very close. Very, very close between actually 5th, 4th and 3rd. I've never known a World Championships where it's been this exciting. You just cannot predict what the outcome is going to be.
Well, spectators here love this park that we're situated in Budapest. It's a fantastic facility for the whole city with so many pools, and they've come to applaud the best in the business at their sport.
We must appreciate them. So first of all, let's give them
They certainly have, and what an honour it is. And what an honour for us, John, as well, to be sitting here commentating on this sport. That when it comes to the Olympics, the other Olympic athletes, if you ask them what is the most difficult sport at the Olympics, so many of them say artistic swimming. So they have huge respect from athletes from all different sports all over the world. As we get a chance now to look at some of the highlights.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I know you bought tickets for the seats, but I think you're allowed to come closer. You can come downstairs to be closer to the competitors and to see the award ceremony a bit closer, so you can come down if you would like to. It's not a problem. So
the award ceremony will take place in round about 10 minutes' time.
The competition ended, but the celebration is about to start, so please stay with us. The competitors are expecting for your attention, for your applause. They would like to celebrate this moment. They would like to share this moment with you. So you can come closer, you can come downstairs, closer to the stage. So, oh, and as you can see, you were smart, sitting in the shadow. There's a shadow on the right side. Cool, so you can come closer, you can come downstairs. I know you bought tickets for seated place, but now you're allowed to come closer and just cheer and support and celebrate with the competitors.
Why should we be using any politician using it with gratitude, just use it if they could? The state of the condition insults my intuition and it only makes me crazy and hard like wood. Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, brother, so can you. I'm the scat man. My message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, so can you. I hear you all asked about the meaning of scat law. I'm the professor, and all I can tell you is why you still see but the saints are still weaving for the things you call dead haven't yet had the chance to be born. I'm the scat man.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the 19th FINA World Championships victory ceremony for the technical duet.
Hölgyeim és uraim, a páros technikai program díjátadó ünnepsége következik.
The medals will be presented by Chairman of the FINA Task, Lisa Schott.
Az érmeket átadja a FINA Szinkronúszó Technikai Bizottság elnöke, Lisa Schott.
Welcome back to the presentation ceremony for the event that we've just seen in Duet Technical in the FINA World Championships here in Budapest in artistic swimming. And Lisa Schott is on stage to do the honours.
For the first time in history, the winner of the bronze medal representing Austria.
And for the first time in history, as our announcer said, taking the bronze medals in third place, Anna Maria Alexandri and Irene Alexandri.
What an amazing moment for them, increasing their scores. They got into the 90s last year and now terrific score 91.2622 to take the bronze medal at a World Championships. The emotion, I'm crying with them, they work so hard. For so many years for this moment.
The winner of the silver medal representing Ukraine, Marina Alexieva,
and also taking another step onto the podium and representing Ukraine, another set of twin sisters, Marina Alexieva and Vladislava Alexieva.
First year swimming as a duet. They've been in the team for many years, but they've really stepped up. Score of 91.8617.
World champions and winners of the gold medal representing the People's Republic of China, Yi Wang and Yi Wang.
Well, they came digging for gold, and gold it is into the possession of the People's Republic of China for Wang Liuyi and Huang Changyi.
15 years of swimming duet together. First time duet at the World Championships though, and they take the gold with an incredible score, 93.7536.
China so often amongst the medals in so many different sports, but here in this sport of what used to be called synchronized swimming and is now very much artistic swimming, it is gold that they take.
Of the People's Republic of China.
És most hallgassuk meg a Kínai Népköztársaság himnuszát.
Well, how special is that? And that's got to be history, really. Twins win the gold medal, twins win the silver medal, and two of the triplets win the bronze medal.
Well, that's a brilliant statistic, and it's a brilliant day for the Chinese. 5 years ago, here in Budapest, China was amongst the medals then, and they have a right to be proud. It's lovely to hear the national anthem of the People's Republic of China celebrating this latest success, the second set of medals we've seen awarded in the artistic swimming here, in this glorious setting and in front of really happy spectators. And isn't it wonderful to see the spectators reveling in the sunshine, an event they've been looking forward to for so long, and it really is delivering.
It's been absolutely fantastic, and of course we're only 2 events in, so we've got another, if my calculations are right, 7 events to go. There'll be mixed duets, there'll be teams, there'll be combination of teams, plenty with more action here from the beautiful Seychelles pool.
Yes, tomorrow we have the mixed duet technical at 2 o'clock, and we have the free combination at 4 o'clock. It's going to be a very busy day in Hungary tomorrow, and we love it that way. And they love wearing their medals around their necks.
A medal at the World Championships, and China has won a gold medal at the World Championships. Thank you, and good evening.
Hölgyeim és uraim, a páros technikai programdíját adója és ezzel együtt a 2022-es 19. FINA vizes világbajnokság 3. szinkronúszó versenynapja ezennel véget ért. A programot holnap reggel 9 órakor az egyéni szabadprogrammal folytatjuk. Köszönjük, hogy velünk tartottak a mai napon, további kellemes estét kívánunk Önöknek, a viszontlátásra!
We hope you've enjoyed the action from Margaret Island. Our congratulations to the People's Republic of China, the latest winners of gold here in Hungary. And we look forward to your company again tomorrow.
Jakart.
Te sem vagy már tinédzser? Tudom, mit érzel. Gyakoribb a derékfájás, olykor felállni is nehéz, a nyakadról már nem is beszélve. Az én megoldásom a szalompasz. Egy tapasz. A szalompasz gyógyszeres tapasz enyhíti a rándulás és megerőltetés okozta izom- és ízületi fájdalmakat.